What's up, YouTube? This is Swide from Reddit Troopers, and I am doing a traveler video today over in Grumpy Old Men. They are a level 5 clan whose description itself indicates that they are grumpy old geezers with war skills, and they really are. But don't be fooled by their spiky outer shell. They are all teddy bears underneath. But they're damn good at war as well. They are about 45 to 50 strong. You can see a lot of them are opted out. They tend to be, average age of the Grumpy Old Men is probably around 35 to 40. They're a bit older as far as a normal user of Clash of Clans probably is, but that's part of the reason I was really interested in featuring them. One of their elders, Bangarang, reached out to me and said, hey, I got a group of guys who are getting really serious about war. I'd love for you to come check us out. And they really are. They are not, they're not an elite war clan by any means, and they don't claim to be. They have a fair amount of fails, just like any clan, but they are working. Clearly, you can see a lot of the chat in the clan is war related. It's okay, they're talking through war strategies. Some of the attacks that I saw, some of the cleanup attacks were just excellent alterations of an initially good plan, so they're actually doing the right stuff, scouting everything out, breaking down bases in the correct way. You don't see a lot of GoWiWI here. Mostly hogs. There are a couple of Laloon attacks. Looks like they're still kind of working on the Laloon stuff, which is great. But definitely, again, not an elite war clan, but these guys are working and they know their stuff. If you are an older gentleman who's a little bit grumpy, you might want to check out the Grumpy Old Men. Been chatting with the guys and they're hilarious. Really enjoyed my time here. So cheers to Bangarang and all the leadership at GOM. Thanks for having me over, guys. Let's get to some war replays, though, so I can show you guys what they're made of. First one I want to show here is number 11. KP, Killer Puck, is taking on their number 11. He is Grumpy Old Men's number 9. And he just comes in with a GoWiWi, which, frankly, I like. It's a base that has a huge core. And all of the stuff that's going to hurt you is in here for the most part. The other sections are point defenses, essentially. But most trap locations are in the core. I would have loved to see, a half GoWiWi with maybe some back-end loons. But, he wrecks the base. It's no problem. He's being a bit of a bully, I'll grant you. He's got combined 50 heroes, and this young man has 16 together, but in any case. So he drops 2 loons up at the top, gets a 2-for-2 trade, an archer tower and then a cannon. Even smashes down on some of the CC troops. Drops his poison spell pretty early, but, why not? You've already drawn him out. You're going to have to drop it at some point, and it's not really going to do, you'll draw some skellies together, but one wizard shot's going to take them out anyway, so no harm, no foul, basically. Has a bit of a bomber fail there. That Valkyrie's going to start doing work on his golem, but his couple wizards up there just going to make quick work of it. Loses a couple more bombers there, actually. One of the reasons I wanted to show this raid, actually, is because he brings 2 jump spells. He just placed 1. He's got 1 more in the bag. And I wanted to talk just about the placement in relation to a jump spell video I just put out. You can see just spammed his witches down here. And they're going to crawl in. He did a great job of breaking the funnel. Had this golem up here, which he was bombing in initially and bringing other witches down, but that's just going to end up tanking for the rest of his stuff throughout the raid, which is not a bad idea. Anyway, the jump spell. This one's pretty conservative. You can see over half of it is on this side of the wall where his entrance was, jumping into the core. And there's his second one. So his golems have worked through here with his queen, his king and some witches. And this is, again, a very conservative jump spell. Most of it is in the compartment that his troops were already in. So I would say With the new jump spell mechanics, guys, just be more aggressive with it. Had you dropped that jump spell right here, this king would have knocked that down, moved into this compartment to take on that wizard tower and the cannon. Same with the golem. You need much less. You can see there, this king jumped out of this compartment with just a sliver of the jump spell. You need much less of it to actually do the work that an old jump spell used to do. So obviously KP wrecks this base, no problem. But one thing, just for improvement, those jump spells, put them a little further ahead. Make sure you're getting all the use out of them that you can get. Nice attack though, man. That was one of, I think, 2 Go-based attacks. The other one was a Town Hall 10. But I wanted to show it just to make that shout out to the jump spell, to the new jump spell mechanics. Here's the next attack I wanted to showcase. It's by Ivy Mike. He's hitting up a bit on their number 12, but Grumpy Old Men were pretty heavily outweighed, at least I think, their opponents in this war in hero levels. So he's hitting 5 spots up, but his heroes are actually better, I think, than Mr. GM, Mr. Jim, or whatever his name is that he's facing. This is a second attack, so somebody had tried to hog this base initially, I think, and had failed, and so he then knows that the giant bomb positions are awful, and so he just trips them 1 hog at a time. Dropped a few extra down here to get the lure, because he has brought a poison spell as well. He's trying to bunch him up, but realizes that he forgot his Barch to do so. So he uses some bombers because why not? Has witches in the CC. Not sure if you can see that. I can zoom in a bit here. But witches and the poison spell, probably not needed, frankly. You could have just used one or the other. In this case, because you had the witches already, I would have saved that poison spell for your hogs. You know there's going to be some skeleton traps. Save it, and when they bunch up on your hogs, you can just burn them real quick. Just a suicide king down here on the AQ. No problem. Natural funnel break on this side. These hogs are going to go to the center. Same thing over here. These hogs bounced in. The pathing on this is actually really good. The hogs stay in 2 groups the entire time, which is excellent. So he brought 4 heals. Didn't need a jump spell because of the exposed queen. And he's got his hogs sitting in heals pretty much the whole time. One thing I'd like to point out about this attack, actually I'll do that after. Great attack, quite frankly. He starts losing, he drops his heals pretty early, so he starts losing momentum here right at the end as that king starts beating on him. But because he set up his first half of the attack so well, he's got an entire kill squad on this side sweeping around, and then he's got his queen and a few wizards on this side cleaning up. So in this case, no real need for hogs in the cleanup. These witches are going to tank for these wizards throughout the rest of the raid. He got a wizard and some archers in here, and he's got skellies around just working on walls. So he really does wreck this base pretty well. Let's just clean up now. Nice job, Ivy Mike. One thing I'm going to point out quick, and I'm just going to play this again. I didn't see any of this style of attack, but one thing I want the grumpy old men to consider in the future is a surgical hog. A lot of you guys are using GoHo still, which is absolutely a fine strategy. It's clearly working for you. You had way more 3-stars than you had 2-stars, and the ones you 2-starred were mostly Town Hall 10s, so you guys are clearly cleaning up. But one place you can improve are thinking about working on those surgical hog attacks where, you'd come in this case, maybe with a golem, jump into the core, work on some giant bomb spots. Obviously, these ones are all on the outside, so you wouldn't have had to do that here. But grabbing the lure, killing the queen, and then dropping packs of hogs on all of the point defenses. Do you see how these are all in a line, basically? Let me clear that so you guys can see a little better. They're all in a line, so when you drop hogs in, you can drop packs of 3 or so on each defense, and they are going to path up and in. What that does also is allows you In this case, obviously, again, the giant bombs were on the outside and very poorly positioned, but if they were on the inside, that deployment style would allow you to send in these packs of hogs that would then path separately, and you'd only lose 3 or 4 at a time to those giant bombs when they move up into the second layer. You, of course, have one less heal spell if you do that, because you're probably bringing a jump for your kill squad to kind of get them in and to take part one section of the base. But definitely something to think about. I saw a lot of the bases that you guys were facing were pretty vulnerable to a surgical hog type of attack. So yeah, something to work on potentially. Let's move on to their number 15. I might as well say this, I have a video about surgical hogs on my channel. If you guys want to learn that strategy, I definitely recommend it. This is another base actually that you could do the same kind of thing with. Lots of giant bomb positions all around the base, but all of these defenses are in perfect alignment. So you just, after you kill the queen with your heroes and maybe golem or something, you can just drop sets of 3 hogs on each defense, and they, as they start pathing into the center, you can have a heal just waiting on them. And it'll make for quick work for a base like this. This is just another hog. Obviously another GoHo. Working on, this is, I think this is a second attack as well, actually. So takes out, I think he negates a giant bomb position here, and then these hogs are going to trip another and get the rest of the lure, which is excellent. He brings them out to the side, and he brought a traditional kill squad as well to take care of those. Drops this switch a little far out. I tend to drop the, just to be safe, because you never know, barbs sometimes path funky like that. I drop barbs and then wizards and then witches, just to make sure, if something happens and their skellies start working through, it's my wizards that go down and not my witches. Also, your AQ back here would have been helpful to make sure that they won this trade. Ends up working out okay, but would have saved you a little bit of stress, I imagine. King's in, bombed in, no problem on the AQ. He drops a golem actually, and that's going to tank the X-bows and the point defenses around there as well. And then he came in just with some hogs on the northwestern side, and he brought 4 heals as well. And he is just going to keep them healed this whole time. I may have dropped a heal a little sooner here. You're going to lose a couple hogs just because you don't drop one until just now, I think. Yeah. But, because you brought 4 heals, you can be a little more liberal with their positions. I think the attack, I'll have to double check. I think this was a cleanup, but I am also not sure if all the giant bomb positions were uncovered. I think you assume they're in all 4 spots, but I think he was saving. He wanted to make sure he saved 1 heal spell for this last spot, which was very wise. MVP barbs around the outside cleaning. He's got that what remains of his kill squad down here, witch, wizard, cleaning up. Just phased his queen now. He actually lost his hogs to the skelly traps and that enemy BK. And that's another reason you'd want to save a poison at the end. In this case, Harris doesn't have one. I think he was upgrading his Dark Elixir spell factory. So he didn't have a poison with him, but, had he had one, he could have dropped it here at the end on those skellies, and maybe those hogs all bunched together on that BK, and he's got a few for cleanup. Obviously didn't matter. He's got troops nicely spread throughout, so nice job, Harris. Last one I want to look at is actually a Town Hall 8 attack, and I don't show many of these on my channel. In fact, this may be the first one I have shown. I stick on the whole to Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 10, but this was just an excellent, very well executed GoHo at Town Hall 9. He's got giant bombs outside of the base. These guys, their opponents weren't great. The grumpy old men had much better bases that weren't just YouTube bases like this or online bases. Dragging the CC here, so he's just going to drop some archers around. Again, don't love the don't love the poison spell on a drag. It's going to do such minimal damage that it's not really going to matter. He's trying to drop wizards and archers to hit it, but they keep going around it towards this dark spell factory for some reason. So he finally gets a few down that actually start targeting the dragon. So finally takes it down at that point. And then he's just going to come in with his hogs. He's already tripped 2 out of the 3 giant bombs. And he just has way too many hogs for this to be a problem. Little king on king action just pulls him out of the way. I like the delayed response there of the king. I think he was hoping that some of these point defenses were actually going to target his hogs under heal while his king went to work, but it didn't quite work out that way. Unfortunately, the timing was just a tad off. But a good thought nonetheless. See these skellies, even though there's only 2, poison spell would have just taken care of them, no problem. Yeah. Hits the other single giant bomb there. But, I mean, he's got upwards of 15, maybe even 20 hogs left, and they're just going to make quick work of this base. This guy's got some corner builder huts that may have caused the problem. I like to bring just a barge for those at Town Hall 8. My mini is obviously a Town Hall 8, as I'm sure you guys saw, so I'll war occasionally with it. And corner builder huts and corner Teslas, man. Town Hall 8 guys are little bastards sometimes with that stuff. It's cleaning up. Let's fast forward. Nice job, man. Holman, solid attack. Yeah, guys, that's really all I have for you. Come check out the Grumpy Old Men. Quick look at their war log. I mean, they're predominantly green. You know, they're fighting. They tend to fight anywhere from 40s and 35s down to 10s and 15s even. They're all, like I was saying earlier, adults, working adults basically, and a lot of them opt out from time to time, and then occasionally they have a war. It looks like just about every other week where all of them get together and they have a big 45 or 50 on 50 war. So looks like a really fun place. The chat is always active. They have a pretty calculated and tactical war strategy on the whole. They use just the Google Sheets app, and they have how-to videos linked in there. They call bases on there. They do other war strategies on there. Very cool. Pretty next level for the clan that they are. I mean, again, they're not an elite war clan, but they're doing lots of the elite war clan type of strategic organization. So very cool to see. Watch out for these guys. They're up and coming, and they obviously have the experience for it, having their, you know, average age being 65 and on Medicare or whatever it is. But loved being here. Thanks again for having me, guys. Until next time, this is Swide from Reddit Troopers. You guys have a good one.